The silent vanguard. The vastness of space had always promised solitude, not danger. Captain Maya Rodriguez stared through the view screen of the Phantom, humanity's most advanced stealth vessel, as it drifted silently through the Kuiper Belt. The ship's revolutionary quantum displacement drive had allowed them to operate undetected for 3 years now, monitoring the activities at the edge of our solar system. Maya's mission had started as routine reconnaissance, become shadows, observe, report back. But shadows had found other shadows lurking in the darkness. "Captain, we're detecting unusual radiation patterns near Pluto's orbit," Lieutenant Kwan reported, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "Signature doesn't match anything in our database." Maya straightened in her command chair, her dark eyes narrowing. Overlay previous week's patterns. The display shimmered, revealing a progressive increase in unknown energy signatures. Methodical, purposeful, expanding. "They're searching," Maya whispered. "But for what?" The question answered itself 2 days later, when the Phantom's sensors detected the arrival of the first Sorelian scout ship. It emerged from what appeared to be a localized fold in spacetime, a technology humanity had theorized but never mastered. The vessel was massive compared to the Phantom, all gleaming, obsidian-like surfaces that seemed to absorb rather than reflect light. "Full stealth protocols," Maya ordered calmly, though her heart raced. "Passive scans only." Over the next 72 hours, 11 more Sorelian vessels arrived. Their communications, which the Phantom's AI translated with increasing accuracy, revealed fragments of their intent. Resource-rich system. Indigenous species presents minimal threat. Primary colonization candidate. Maya's blood ran cold as she compiled the intelligence. The Sorelian Confederation, as they called themselves, hadn't come to make contact. They had come to take what wasn't theirs. "Send emergency packet to Earth Command," Maya instructed. Priority Omega. Earth had changed significantly in the decades following what historians called the Great Divergence, after narrowly avoiding self-destruction through climate disaster and resource wars. Humanity had made a collective decision to develop in silence. The major powers had agreed to minimize their electromagnetic footprint, to build inward rather than outward, to advance without announcing their progress to the cosmos. It had been a controversial decision at the time. Many argued that humanity should reach boldly into space, establish colonies, seek out other intelligent life. But cooler heads had prevailed, reminding everyone that in nature, it was often the quiet, cautious creatures that survived. Now, as Maya watched the Sorelian fleet assemble at the edge of their solar system, that caution seemed validated. Earth Command's response came 18 hours later. "Maintain observation. Do not engage. Gather intelligence on capabilities and intentions. Reinforcements en route." Maya knew reinforcements meant exactly one ship. The Phantom's sister vessel, the Spectre. 2 stealth ships against what had now grown to a fleet of 27 alien vessels. "Captain," Lieutenant Kwan interrupted her thoughts. "They're launching probes toward the inner system." The probes were small and fast, designed to catalog and analyze. The Sorelians were conducting a survey, treating Earth's solar system like an unclaimed territory ripe for exploitation. "Track their trajectory," Maya ordered, "if they're heading for Earth." But the probes dispersed throughout the system, focusing primarily on the gas giants and their moons, resource centers rich in hydrogen, helium, and various minerals. Only 2 were directed toward the inner planets. Maya made her decision. "Prepare the infiltration module." Her executive officer, Commander Chen, looked startled. "Captain, our orders are to gather intelligence," Maya finished. "And that's precisely what I intend to do." The infiltration module was barely larger than a coffin, a one-person stealth craft designed to attach itself to larger vessels undetected. Utilizing the same quantum displacement technology as the Phantom, it could effectively become part of the target ship's structure, all but invisible to conventional scans. If I'm not back in 72 hours, you're to rendezvous with the Spectre and return to Earth with all gathered intelligence, Maya instructed Chen as she prepared to board the module. And if you are back? Chen asked quietly. Maya allowed herself a small smile. Then maybe we give Earth a fighting chance. The journey to the Sorelian command vessel was tense but uneventful. The module's systems worked perfectly, allowing Maya to approach undetected amid the constant shuttle traffic between the alien ships. Attaching to the command vessel's outer hull, near what appeared to be a maintenance access point, Maya activated the phase shift mechanism that would allow her to pass through the alien metal as if it were no more substantial than fog. Inside, the Sorelian vessel was strangely beautiful. The corridors curved in non-Euclidean patterns, lit by a soft ambient glow that seemed to emanate from the structure itself. Maya's stealth suit, equipped with adaptive camouflage and sensor-dampening technology, allowed her to move like a ghost through the ship. The translation implant behind her ear worked overtime, processing the alien language that surrounded her. The Sorelians themselves were bipedal, standing nearly 7 feet tall, with iridescent skin that shifted colors subtly as they moved. Their 4 arms ended in 7-fingered hands capable of extraordinary dexterity, while their elongated heads housed 3 sets of eyes. 1 pair facing forward, 1 pair on the sides, and 1 small pair positioned at the back of their skull. Perfect spatial awareness. No blind spots. Maya avoided direct contact, sticking to maintenance shafts and less traveled corridors as she made her way toward what the ship's design suggested was a central command center. The intelligence she gathered along the way painted an increasingly grim picture. The Sorelian Confederation consisted of 7 spacefaring species, each conquered and assimilated rather than joined voluntarily. They operated on a strict hierarchical system, with the Sorelians themselves at the top. Their expansion strategy was methodical. Identify resource-rich systems, establish mining and processing operations, strip what was valuable, and move on. Indigenous life was either exploited as labor or eliminated if it posed resistance. Earth, it seemed, had simply been next on their list. When Maya finally accessed the command center's adjacent data hub, she found herself facing an opportunity too valuable to ignore. The Sorelian systems were impressively advanced, but their security protocols reflected a species that hadn't faced a serious technological challenger in centuries. They had grown complacent. Maya's neural interface connected with the alien system, the specialized viral algorithms developed by Earth's best cyber warfare experts beginning their quiet infiltration. Information flowed into her augmented memory banks. Fleet compositions, weapon capabilities, biological weaknesses, and most crucially, the coordination frequency that linked all Sorelian technology. What she discovered gave her both hope and dread. The Sorelians were indeed technologically superior to humanity's publicly known capabilities, but not to the extent they believed. Their confidence came not from overwhelming technological advantage, but from numbers and experience. They had conquered dozens of worlds, each time following the same playbook, each time facing minimal effective resistance. But the Sorelians had a critical vulnerability, one they didn't even recognize as such. Their entire technological infrastructure operated on a quantum harmonic principle, with all systems precisely calibrated to the same frequency. It provided remarkable efficiency and coordination, but it also meant that a correctly calibrated counter-frequency could potentially disrupt their entire operation simultaneously. As Maya prepared to extract herself from the data hub, an alert sounded throughout the ship. At first, she feared discovery, but the message that blared in the Sorelian language had nothing to do with intruders. Preliminary survey complete. Indigenous civilization. Pre-stellar. Military capability. Minimal. Resource extraction authorization granted. Commencement of operation in 40 rotations. Maya felt a chill run down her spine. The Sorelians had dramatically underestimated their opponent, and that might be humanity's only advantage. Her escape from the command ship proved more difficult than her infiltration. Security had inexplicably tightened, forcing her to take greater risks. During her extraction to the outer hull, she was spotted by a maintenance worker, resulting in a ship-wide alert. Maya barely reached her infiltration module before the Xorelians initiated a full exterior sweep. As the module detached and slipped away into the darkness, Maya watched the Xorelian fleet with new eyes. They were formidable, yes, but not invincible. Not if you knew where to strike. When she returned to the Phantom, Commander Chen was waiting with news of his own. "Captain, while you were gone, we intercepted a transmission from Earth," he said, his expression unreadable. "Operation Sleeping Giant has been activated." Maya felt a surge of both relief and anticipation. For the first time since discovering the Xorelian threat, she allowed herself a genuine smile. Then it's time the Xorelians learned why it's dangerous to wake a sleeping giant. Defiance unleashed. Admiral Corvin of the Xorelian Confederation stood on the bridge of the Indomitable Will, surveying the holographic display of the unremarkable solar system before him. 27 warships under his command. Overkill for such a primitive world, but standard protocol nonetheless. The indigenous species called themselves humans, and according to preliminary data, they had barely managed to reach their own moon. Their communications technology was crude, their weapons primitive, their defenses non-existent. "Begin approach to the third planet," Corvin ordered. "Standard invasion formation." The fleet moved in perfect synchronization, their quantum harmonic systems allowing for precision that had overwhelmed countless civilizations before. As they passed the orbit of the gas giant, the natives called Jupiter, Corvin allowed himself a moment of satisfaction. Another successful conquest about to be added to his already impressive record. "Admiral," his second-in-command interrupted, "we're detecting unusual energy signatures from the third planet." Corvin waved two of his four hands dismissively, likely their primitive fission power sources. "Nothing of concern." "Sir," the officer persisted, "these readings suggest technology far beyond what our survey indicated." Before Corvin could respond, the ship's communication system activated unprompted. A human face appeared on the main view screen. Female, dark-skinned, with an expression of calm authority. "This is General Amara Okafor of Earth Defense Command," the human stated in perfect Xorelian, shocking the bridge crew into silence. "Your presence in our system constitutes an act of aggression. You have 30 minutes to halt your advance and open diplomatic channels, or we will be forced to respond accordingly." Corvin recovered quickly, mandibles clicking in amusement. "A clever deception," he told his officers. "They've intercepted our communications and are attempting to delay the inevitable. Continue as planned." But as the fleet approached the orbit of the red planet, Mars, the sensors detected movement. Massive structures were rising from the Martian surface, structures that hadn't been there during their initial survey. "Impossible," whispered Corvin's science officer. "Our scans would have detected construction of this scale." What the Xorelians couldn't know was that these structures hadn't been built recently. They had been there for decades, hidden beneath the Martian surface, waiting for this exact moment. Operation Sleeping Giant wasn't a last-minute defense strategy. It was the culmination of 50 years of preparation. After the Great Divergence, when humanity had chosen the path of quiet advancement, Earth's nations had collaborated on a daring plan. While maintaining a deliberately modest profile on Earth, limited space exploration, continued reliance on fossil fuels in some regions, carefully controlled electromagnetic emissions, they had secretly established massive manufacturing and research facilities on Mars, the Moon, and various asteroids throughout the system. The quantum displacement technology that made the Phantom undetectable had been applied on a planetary scale, hiding humanity's true progress from prying eyes. The resources that might have been used for outward expansion were instead channeled into defensive capabilities and technological leaps that remained hidden from the cosmos. Now, as the Xorelian fleet approached, that deception was revealed for the strategic masterpiece it was. From Mars, a swarm of unmanned combat vehicles emerged, thousands of them, each smaller than a Xorelian fighter, but equipped with weaponry specifically calibrated to the quantum frequency Maya Rodriguez had discovered. From the dark side of the moon, massive rail guns powered up, capable of accelerating projectiles to speeds that could penetrate even the most advanced Xorelian shields. And in Earth orbit, 7 battlecruisers, each larger than anything humanity had publicly acknowledged building, moved into defensive positions. On the bridge of the Phantom, now rejoined with its sister ship Spectre at a safe distance, Maya watched the Xorelian fleet's formation falter as they processed this unexpected development. All Earth forces, this is Captain Rodriguez. She transmitted on the secure quantum channel. The primary Xorelian weakness has been uploaded to your targeting systems. Their entire fleet operates on a synchronized quantum frequency. Disrupt that frequency, and their coordination fails. The first wave of unmanned combat vehicles struck the outer edge of the Xorelian formation. Rather than attacking with conventional weapons, they emitted precisely calibrated energy pulses that created cascading failures throughout the targeted ship systems. 3 Xorelian vessels immediately went dark, drifting powerless. Impossible. Corvin roared as alerts blared across his bridge. How could they possibly know? Admiral, his communications officer interrupted. We're detecting a security breach in our central database. Someone accessed our core systems during our assembly period. Corvin's secondary eyes widened in realization. We've been compromised from the beginning. The Xorelian fleet attempted to regroup, to adapt their quantum frequency, but the human forces anticipated this. Each time the Xorelians shifted frequency, the human weapons adjusted instantly, as if they could predict the changes before they occurred. What the aliens couldn't know was that Maya's infiltration had given Earth's defense systems access to the Xorelians' entire frequency algorithm, not just their current setting, but the mathematical model they used to generate new frequencies when under attack. From the lunar defense platforms, massive projectiles launched toward the most powerful Xorelian vessels. Moving at a significant fraction of light speed, these kinetic impactors carried no explosives. Their velocity alone provided destructive power equivalent to tactical nuclear weapons, without the radiation that would make the system uninhabitable. 5 more Xorelian ships were crippled in the initial exchange. The rest found their weapon systems performing at less than 30% efficiency, their shields faltering under the precisely targeted human assault. Captain Rodriguez, came General Okafor's voice over the secure channel. Your intelligence has proven invaluable. The Xorelian fleet is in disarray. On the main view screen, Maya could see the Xorelian formation breaking apart, some ships attempting to retreat while others pushed forward, desperate to reach Earth before their systems failed completely. It was chaos, the antithesis of the perfect coordination that had made the Confederation so formidable against less prepared opponents. General, Maya responded, request permission to deliver the final message. After a brief pause, Okafor replied, granted, Captain. Make it count. The Phantom and Spectre decloaked simultaneously, revealing themselves to the Xorelian sensors for the first time. Small and unimpressive compared to the massive alien vessels, they nonetheless moved with precision that spoke of technological sophistication far beyond what the Xorelians had expected from humans. Maya opened a channel to the Xorelian flagship, which was now desperately trying to rally the scattered fleet. Admiral Corvin, she said calmly, watching the alien commander's expression shift from shock to recognition. We met briefly aboard your vessel, though you were unaware. I bring a message from humanity. We have remained quiet not out of weakness, but from wisdom. We have observed the cosmos and learned that those who announce their presence often attract unwanted attention. Maya leaned forward, her voice steady. We could destroy your entire fleet right now. Instead, we offer you this one chance to withdraw. Return to your Confederation with this knowledge. Earth is not a target. Earth is not defenseless. Earth is not to be approached again. She paused, then delivered the final words slowly, deliberately. The price of war with humanity will be beyond your comprehension. The silence that followed stretched for almost a full minute before Corvin's response came through, his voice subdued. You infiltrated our command ship. Impossible. You'll find, Admiral, Maya replied, that humans specialize in achieving the impossible. Your fleet has 15 minutes to begin withdrawal, or we will demonstrate further impossibilities. The Xorelian retreat began 3 minutes later. As the alien vessels limped away, their once perfect formation now a scrambled mess, General Okafor contacted the Phantom again. Well done, Captain Rodriguez. Your mission has saved countless lives, both human and Xorelian. Maya nodded solemnly. They'll be back, General. Perhaps not the Xorelians specifically, but others will come. And we'll be ready, Okafor responded. But today's victory wasn't just about our technology or our preparations. It was about what they didn't know, what they couldn't imagine. The power of underestimation, Maya agreed. In the days that followed, Earth's nations debated their next steps. Some advocated for immediate expansion, arguing that their cover was blown, and they should establish a visible presence throughout the solar system. Others suggested maintaining the deception, allowing rumors of Earth's capabilities to spread through whatever interstellar communication channels existed, becoming a shadowy boogeyman that potential invaders would think twice about confronting. In the end, they chose a middle path. Humanity would emerge gradually, revealing enough to establish their status as a force to be reckoned with, while still keeping their most advanced technologies hidden, still preparing for the day when they might face an enemy that couldn't be defeated through deception alone. For Captain Maya Rodriguez, the decision meant a new mission. The Phantom would venture beyond the solar system for the first time, not to conquer or colonize, but to listen, to learn, to understand the wider galactic community that Earth was now inevitably joining. As the stealth vessel slipped silently into the darkness between stars, Maya thought about the message they had sent to the Xorelians, and by extension, to the galaxy at large. It wasn't just a threat. It was a promise. Humanity had survived countless challenges on their home planet. Ice ages, plagues, world wars, climate catastrophes. They had nearly destroyed themselves more than once, but had always pulled back from the brink, always found a way forward. That resilience, that stubborn refusal to accept defeat, even in the face of overwhelming odds, was humanity's true strength. And any force foolish enough to test that strength would indeed pay a price beyond comprehension.